did not expect or plan to be here right now, but it's hitting me. It's hitting me hard. The channeling, the downloads, the message that I've been trying to get out to you guys for the past few weeks, but I was trying to wait on spirit to tell me when it was time and when I would have the right words and when I was feeling the word, right, the most. So I'm going to say this right now before I get into the message because it directly has everything to do with the message, okay? I recently quit doing tarot for YouTube, as some of you guys may have seen, some of you guys may have known. That was a decision that was months, many months in the making. Uh, it was mostly spirit telling me that my time doing tarot on YouTube should come to a close, or the way that I do it needed to like drastically change. They really just wanted me to purely use my gift and channel. It's. I'm not gonna get into all that. I'm saying that to say, um, Spirit just really wanted me to adjust, this practice that I was doing and the way that I was attempting to go about, putting my light out and my knowledge and my gifts into the world. This is not a way that my higher self and spirit is letting me know that this way is no longer conducive to me. So many reasons, but I will just say this, the main reason being that, like, I just feel the need to keep my aura clean and protected and safe. And I am not, I can easily say, like, I am not particularly, like, well versed yet in this life of, like, navigating, like, doing that kind of work. I view it as a sacred practice. To do it for YouTube always felt a little bit strange for me, but I know that there was a reason for me to do so or whatever. But at this point, it's like I'm not sure, you know, the way that people, I really give a huge shout out and a lot of love to all the readers who get on here multiple times a day and give their energy multiple times a day, doing this work, making sure that they get what they deserve, for their work. Just a little bit of free support. Like, I love how from Kate's Regretless Life says it when she says, like, this is a free channel. All you have to do is support by fucking still liking this video. It's free. It's all free. The support is free, right? So that goes into the point from prey to apex, because one of the biggest things about the game of life is that it is truly a game. Like, it sucks to say that. It sucks for that to be the case, but that's where, when this pyramid scheme was created, and knowledge and sacred knowledge and things like that were used against everybody, and abused to the highest extent, right? That put everybody in this pyramid system, in this hierarchy, this system. And we've talked about this a bit, but we're not going to get deep into that, but more so just into a very specific world, like 2022 worldly ass, like fucking gut punch ass, like, let's just get it in, right? Let me just say what I gotta say here, because it's a powerful message, and I'm just finna just hop into it, whatever. And I'm just gonna let it go too. So the problem that I've had a lot with this platform and just like doing things on here is that you gotta do way too much to earn the support of the people who you're helping. Um, it'll be the same, 20, 60 people, 80, 90, 100 people coming to watch your videos. But the fact that you don't have, in my mind, it's like, if I don't have at least half to a third of those likes, like, if 100 people view my video and at least 70 people, 50 to 70 people don't like that video, like, that's a problem to me, because that means that a certain amount of people are coming back, returning, and they're not giving anything to the cause. And that makes no fucking sense to me. Let's just be honest. It makes no fucking sense. It's disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? And then when you're reading, you can physically feel people like pulling on your energy, like pulling it hard. I know. Sometimes it's an unconscious thing that you can do, when you're not paying attention or whatever. And, sometimes it's a good thing. It's how you get your messages or whatever. But if you're not, cognizant and like aware of yourself as a viewer, then you could become a problem to the reader. And that's like a whole nother discussion and a whole nother understanding that an individual would have to understand themselves through seeking out that understanding, understanding at the least. And so the thing about it is, y'all, is like, okay, that's not even my biggest issue. Like, that's definitely the one out of two of the biggest issues. But the other issue, like I said, is just privacy and protection and cleanliness, because I have a lot of people who who still are. It's not working, and it's no way that it's gonna ever work ever again in eternally. But like, there's a lot of people that were banking on kind of using me, like gatekeeping me and using me as like this personal crutch and this personal source of like information and light and love and all these things. And they were trying to control the way that other people viewed me and the world around me viewed me. And it's a really fucked up thing, but I'm learning about Earth in the world today in 2022. I'm a very old soul. My last Earth life, I don't know when it was. I'm a medium, so I have a lot of dreams and a lot of visions where other souls and spirits come to me and show me things, either for my own understanding. Sometimes they're just trying to connect and share their info, share their stories. I know it's gonna sound fucking crazy, but I've had some of the craziest experiences with that, and I would love to like tell you guys more about that if you are interested, if you agree to show the love. Like, I'm from now on, I'm definitely gonna be moving like a fucking body in the streets. Okay, shout out to them. All respect to those people who do that work. But I need the money first. You know what I'm saying? But no, that's some real shit. Like, cause that's how I do my personals anyway. So that's just how I'm gonna go about all of my exchanges from here on out, especially spiritual, on the spiritual tip, because it just is what it is. I have so much value, and I've always known that I've had value, but I never understood why people didn't treat me that way. And I just realized that it was kind of just how I was raised. Like, I didn't get taught how to take up for my, like, stand up for myself in a healthy way. So, that's beside the point. But that's like, go straight into the point, like I said, from prey to apex, right? So the thing about it is, y'all, I've learned about this world in this game that, like, I've touched on it in our other videos or whatever, but essentially it's not this black and white. But for the sake of the video and for the knowledge and the teaching, that's how I'm gonna put it, because that's how the game works: the black and the white, the checkerboard. Y'all, if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? So basically, we have our light workers, we have our dark workers, we have our evil, we have our good, dark, light, all that shit, right? All necessary parts of the pendulum to be swinging to both sides, right? So with that being said, I realized this through my last relationship. Like, my last relationship could have very well claimed my life, claimed my hope, claimed, it could have taken my life, it could have taken everything from me. However, I made it out. I made it out as an apex because I danced with the devil. I spent time with a sex demon, a trickster spirit, a a person who is like, who thinks they're some type of fucking, like, game master or some shit. That's, none of those titles and things matter, but that it does matter, because y'all have to understand the situation. Y'all may look at these people that y'all come in contact with in the world. You know what? Fuck that. I doubt that we do nowadays. It's 2022. The veil is ripped off. Even people who couldn't see the fucking forest for the trees are seeing a little bit of what the fuck is happening. And it's fucked up, because the dark, the lower vibrational entities, they prey on people who are ignorant. They prey on people who vibe low already, because that's how, I mean, that's kind of how that works. Like attracts like. So those people carry out those deeds, and the more like light workers or whatever the fuck can get fucked over by these demons, They get to climb the rank to the higher levels. But what these demonic ass people don't understand is that when you play for the dark, you think you big shit, you think you big apex, right? You think you big god status and all that shit, right? Like you can walk and hold that title. Like you can really hold that title, right? But the funniest thing I find about that whole thing is that when motherfuckers find out, like, damn, like, as a demon, I'm thinking I'm doing big shit popping till I realize that my other little demon flunkies and floozies, they gonna fuck me over. Cause that's how Satanism works. That's how do what thou that's what happens when you do what thou wilt. Because in your mind, in your belief system, you feel like you can do whatever you want. You can make people feel however you want them to feel. You're a nihilist. You don't mind causing hurt and pain and confusion. That's what you like to do because you feel free, like you don't have to think about your actions and things like that, right? But the thing about it is, that'll work. That'll be real fun for a period of time until certain motherfuckers who really not about that dark life, you know, a lot of people follow Aleister Crowley and people similar to him and all that shit, not realizing that this man died piss poor in a pool of his literal piss and shit. No money, no friends. I mean, like at the end of the day, fuck the books you wrote, fuck the shit you feel like you did and the photos you took. Bro, you went out sad. You killed children and babies and tortured, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not even going to get into that. I'm just kind of passionate about history and about, you know, all of these things, but I'm trying to stay on topic here. When people get fucked over by their own kind, some of them start to feel a little jaded, a little crazy in the head. Like, why did I do this to myself? Like, what path am I really going down? But that's a blessing because those souls needed to go through that to decide where they want to go as a soul, thus further and beyond into the rest of time, into the rest of eternity. But if you really dark and shitty and gritty and about that life and you just ready to go into that reckless life, then by all means, a lot of younger souls, newer souls has to go through that experience so that they can mature as a soul. That's just a part of the whole cycle. That's why I am the way that I am. My soul is so old. I done been there and done that. I've been all up in that darkness, but I've returned to reclaim the light. I already have tried to do that before in many lifetimes, but people kept tricking me and finessing me. That's what I pretty much came here to discuss today. And that is the whole game of just like people manipulating people. Y'all, is getting fucking crazy out here. People are literally resorting. If people are not choosing to do the inner work, which is fucking hard as fuck, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Y'all see me getting on here smiling and cheesing and laughing and joking and shit. But when I'm not giving a read on YouTube, I am I'm literally knee, ankle, hip, shoulders fucking deep in shadow work, in healing, in all this magic stuff. And all my life, y'all, I'm a medium. All my life since I was born. I saw myself before I was born. I tell people this story all the time. I literally astral projected out of my mother's body, okay? And I looked at myself right before my mom went to labor. I looked at everything and I was like, what the fuck? And all my life, my soul always tries to leave my body. So I've had lots of near death experiences. I astral project a lot, like all kinds of things. And it's not. I have so many gifts, and it's hard for me to navigate them sometimes, especially because I have a hard time working on my emotional body, or I have in the past. Now I'm a whole lot better at it. Saying that to say, when I'm not doing the work that I do or whatever, I'm still doing mad work on myself. So with all the personal work I have to do in my own life, I can't be on here trying to do all these things for people that just want to like drain me and like use me for that solely without giving me any fucking thing or shouting me out or recommending me, or you know what I'm saying? That's a problem. That journey, that work path was not the one for me because I need money. You know what I'm saying? I need support. I need word of mouth. I need, You know what I'm saying? Real writers, type shit. And that's why I've chosen to just share my gifts in a more controlled way, a way that I feel like I can, master more. And that's a part of me, being initiated into my apex status. I beat a very fucking scary, tricky game, and that is people claiming to like love me and support me, and what they're really doing is studying me and envying me and trying to find ways to finesse and finagle and scheme their fucking way into my existence so that they can take control, like hijack my mind, hijack my spirit, my body, hijack me in every way they could. It's crazy because at the end of the day, these people know they can't hijack my spirit. They know that. They know that. I don't have to talk before people can see that they can't hijack my spirit. So they find ways to do it in other ways. What's wrong with this girl? What is her struggles? She's been abused, okay, check. She she's a little bit needy for love. I can tell she's a little bit of a loner. Check. They're going to find ways to hijack your mind, your body, your emotions if you are not fucking weary, if you are not paying attention to yourself. God gave you one job at the end of the day, and that's yourself. Okay? And as a retired fucking demon or a retired darker person or whatever, or person who worked for the dark, however the fuck you want to listen to it, much retired. Okay? Not on that any of that shit. All right? With that being said, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, to work for the light, to work for God, it's a very internal, beautiful, fucking ethereal, elating ass process and experience. And you have to choose it every time. It's a very personal, internal experience and relationship that is like fucking mind blowing and amazing and well worth every tear, every fucking sweat bead, every agonizing, gut wrenching pain that you could feel from your transformation. It's worth it. It's fucking worth it. When you work for the dark, when you are darker and you live in those darker energies and you choose to live life through that lens, it's hard in a lot of in some of the same ways, but for way less like profitable like outcomes and shit. And fuck that. I'm not trying to convince anybody. Sometimes I have to catch myself from trying to convince anybody to come to any side because I really don't give a fuck what people choose to do. Obviously, I want people to choose light if that's what they feel like they need or that's what they feel like they want and not feel discouraged from taking that path. You could fucking do whatever you want. You could curse, you could lie, you could do whatever you feel like you need to do for your self-preservation, but have a conversation with God about it. Be on the same page with God about it. Your spirit guides, whatever entities protect you. Nature protects me. Literally, Mother Earth literally protects me. Every element, every fucking atom, that is my gift from God. God gave me that. I had to realize it, remember it, really, because like I said, people will try to hijack you at any way that they can if you're not aware of yourself. If you start becoming too much of the world instead of just being in it. I'm a very worldly person. That's what people don't understand about us Virgos. Like, we're very much so pristine and dirty at the same time. It's kind of a mind fuck. But if you sit and ponder on it a bit, you'll start to understand. Each sign is like that in different ways. It's like we all have on, we all do the same thing, but we exercise it in a different way. It's like a machine. Each part has a moving part and it all affects another part and it all needs to be in effect for the machine to work. At the end of the day, what I'm getting at is that you are prey. If you are not in charge of yourself, if you don't have control over yourself, you are prey. When you choose yourself on a daily and commit to yourself, no matter what side you're on, that is when you become apex. When you're no longer afraid to die, when you're no longer afraid of pain, when you are no longer afraid of the games that people can try to play with you because your vision is clear. If you've been outside under those sun rays, under that Ra, some of us have been getting initiated. Some of us have been receiving the eye of Ra. I knew that I would get that in my life. That's why I got the eye tattooed on my left thumb. I knew that I would get the sight. I just didn't know when. I had no idea. I didn't even know what any of it meant until years. Apex. The thing about it is, though, is when you choose what you choose, you have to be really ready to choose what you choose. I can't begin to explain how many times, and I've mentioned this in previous talks, in other Dark Series episodes. But I've had so many conversations with God where I'm like, God, baby, do I want this? Do I really want this, God? Because it's hard. This is hard, baby. Taking that high road is fucking hard, baby. Because I know the crazy part about it is the darker side of my power. I'm very familiar with it. I've seen insane shit happen when I'm angry, when I'm sad. I've seen myself do some crazy shit. I'm not gonna get into it. I feel safe. Fuck that. At the end of the day, I'm not scared. I'm not scared of shit. My powers. I have telekinesis, bro. I have all kinds of crazy ass gifts that are super easy to use when I'm in my feelings, super easy to use when I'm angry. At some point in my life, I was genuinely afraid to get angry because I didn't know what would happen. And I was scared that I would do something fucked up and karma would get me. That's how scared. I would be like, God, if I did something, just know I didn't do it on purpose. And that's when I learned that that's a thing. Like, if your powers are doing some shit and you don't understand it, karma. Learn universal law. Some of you fucking people need to learn universal law. How the fuck you think you big bad apex dark demon lord and shit, but you don't know shit about universal law? Learn that shit. God, for Pete fucking sakes. Karma is like the biggest one that so many of us talk about. At the end of the day, motherfuckers play all of these games, but they forget we in the physical realm. Like, right now, you commit a crime and you think that you about to fuck somebody over by putting them in jail, setting them up, and they didn't even commit the fucking crime. So first of all, you got karma because you set a person up and you lied. It's illegal to even fake a fucking crime. But if you want to deem it as a crime because you petty or whatever, say somebody hit you and you deserve to be hit. You know you deserve to be hit. Street justice on some shit. But you bring the law into it because you petty and you want to set another person up to get in trouble, right? So you do that. Whatever. You get your karma chunked up to you. Okay, I put my hands on you. If you want to pull the law out, I learned a valuable lesson. Don't let nobody anger you enough to let them put your hands on you because you never know who's going to be petty. You never know who's going to take it from street justice to real fucking law and get you fucked over. I learned that lesson last year. July 6th, right? So when somebody, that same person, beats the fuck out of you, beats up other people, threatens other people, steals money, scams, rapes, beats, you know what I'm saying? Living a big, bad demon lord, fucking thinking they apex ass life, right? Then when you choose to pull the law out, like, okay, let's get the law involved. I got medical bills since you want to put your hands on people. This is logically how I have to handle this situation now. This is logically how I have to protect myself and pay for fees, right? On some apex shit. I'm going to get the law involved. I was cool with keeping it street justice, but now that you got the law involved, let's do that. Let's do that. And you mean to tell me, as a big bad demon lord, you can't, it's actually kind of ironic because it does make sense for somebody so disgustingly low to blame another person for the shit that they do, even though it's weak and spineless as fuck. In my head, a big bad demon lord would say, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna take my time. Cause I'm not scared of shit. Yeah, I did that shit. I'm gonna go do, you know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be bad, be big and motherfucking bad. Don't be little and bad. And I'm not even saying all this to target anybody. I have a real point in why I'm discussing this, guys. I really do. I might sound chaotic. I might sound irrational. I may sound intense, but there's a reason for what I'm saying, guys. Discern. Use your third eye to hear this message. People will fuck you over in any way that they can. And if you have control over yourself, it will not happen to you. Sometimes we have to go through fucked up shit. Very scary, fucked up, scary ass situations in order for us to learn. These things make us or break us. It's nothing wrong with being in a space of being prey. God will protect you. If you want protection, you can seek God. You can seek angels. You can seek your ancestors. You can seek Mother Earth. You can seek whatever entities you want to seek to protect you. Just know that some entities come with a high cost, and some entities come with a cost that is nothing that is really hurting you. I told God the other day, God, I'm a slave to you. I know I sound morbid, but you know my heart, God. You know me. You know what kind of soul I am, so you understand why I'm putting it this way. I was a slave to another system at some point, but now I'm happily a slave for God. I'm a God told me I'm a God. I'm a God. I'm a big deal in the spiritual realm and in this and in my human life as well. Especially now that I've claimed it in my human life and I'm choosing to fully walk in it and live in it fully now. Thank you, God, right, for leading me. Thank you, higher self, for leading me. Thank you, guys, ancestors, angel, spirit, pixies, all you motherfuckers for helping me. But I happily told God, just like a day ago, when I was having some more shadow work time, right? I'm a slave for you. I will do whatever you want to do. I wasn't happy. I was having a moment where I'm like, look, I'm super alone. I'm super hermit, whatever. This shit sucks. But hey, if I'm doing work for you, God, I'm happily a fucking lonely ass hermit. I'm happily not having the greatest fucking time all the time, but that's okay. I will sacrifice good times because I know what you're bringing me, God. You're bringing me justice. You're bringing me security. I will sit my ass down. You know what I'm saying? And that came with a lot of maturity and a lot of discipline and patience that I had to gain. I'm going to tell y'all right now and be honest. Before this past year, 2 years that I've been learning these huge ass lessons, because it really started like right before COVID is when I started getting hit with some of the bigger lessons, right? That's when I started to like shit started to really kick in. Like that's when the biggest, darkest things, like I can't stress enough the things that I started learning like right before COVID happened and all the way through COVID till right now today in this moment. There were so many things that I was having a hard time with letting go of or just accepting. I wasn't very patient. I wasn't very disciplined. You know, I was patient for all the wrong things. I was disciplined for all the wrong things because and it is not always your soul that is affecting you or what your soul has gone through in the lives of your soul. Sometimes it's your fucking bloodline, it's your family. You could be, for the last fucking few earth lives, you could have been doing all kinds of amazing shit to regain power and control and for your own self. But your whole family could be pulling you down by attaching themselves to you. And that's the crazy part. Because your sister in this life could have been your mother in another life, could have been your wife in another life. You know what I'm saying? Your brother in this life, you know what I'm saying? It's so, the way this shit works is so intricate and so amazing. But when you really allow yourself to tap into that and see and learn shit and see shit, it's scary to know the things that you know and to can do the things that you can do. But once you really get a hold on it, it's different. I'm not sure who's gonna be here to hear these messages. Maybe more people with lots of gifts. Maybe people who using their gifts for bad shit, or maybe people who don't know how to control their gifts as well, or learning how to control their gifts, or maybe you use your gifts and got yourself in a fucking deep, dark, scary, nasty ass hole. And I'm not here to judge. I don't give a fuck what you choose to do with your shit. I'm just trying to talk about what I know in my own experience, right? I know what I have going on, and it's time for me to get shit together personally because shit's getting real. Your girl is under lock and key, and when God told me that I would be a star back in 2000, I was 18. I want to say it was about April, May 2018. God, literally, I did a reading for myself, and this, like I said, I was doing tarot for 2 years before I ever did it for YouTube because I was solely doing it for myself. Literally, people would be like, "Oh, she does tarot." They would ask me to do a read. Half the time, I would tell their ass no because I'm like, no, like it was like spirit was controlling me so easily because I would easily my intuition would easily be like no, and I was surprised in my head like, damn, why is that a no? And then, but it's like my intuition just, it was so easy to me to just be like, hell no. Nah. And now when I look back on it, the people who were asking me for it were very dicey people. These were very fucked up, dark, weird people that I would have, should have never been involved with. And that's why God was like, nah, this is for you only, right? So when I did this reading for myself, I was trying to figure out when I would have this like great love in my life because I knew that that would impact me. I know what kind of person I am. Either I'm focused on love or I'm not. So sometimes when I meet people, I could seem very intense because it's like, look, I need to fucking know if you're gonna be around. So that's how it is when you're in a certain bloodline. That's how it is when you come from a certain bloodline. Your soul knows and is used to having arranged relationships where business is involved, magic is involved, families involved, bloodline is involved, resources, relationships, contracts, deals, wars. You know what I'm saying? So when you are a soul that comes from that kind of experience, you don't come into this fucking life like a fucking amateur. Like, yeah, you might be a new person and you're like not remembering fully who you were until you start remembering shit. My name's Deja. I was named that. Everybody's named something for a reason. Okay? My name is unique but common. But if you think about it, it's super unique. I'm named what I'm named because I've been here so many fucking times. And I've had like my whole life is trippy. Like the deja vu, the the gifts, like it's a lot. So when I remember who I am, it's like, okay, yeah. And then you start to understand how you move, why you move the way you do. I come off intense when it comes to friends and relationships because I know that I can't just be partnered up with anybody. But it was confusing for me for the past 26 years of my fucking life. Like, okay, why is nobody loyal? Like, I know what the fuck I am. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people? And people would think that I'm desperate or I'm like down on myself or I have low self esteem when that was far from the case. That's been far from the case. I know how fucking beautiful and brilliant and powerful I am. The depression and the fucking treating myself lower than I am came from nobody being loyal to me. Nobody giving me what I felt like I naturally deserved. And that genuinely confused me. So many times, all the times when I considered suicide and shit like that, I was genuinely fucking confused about why the fuck I wasn't getting the love and the recognition and the praise and the partnership and the fucking loyalty and commitment that I deserve from people around me. But then I had to remember why the fuck I was here on earth in the first place. Shit is fucked up. Like everybody's fucked up. So many demons. Like this really became a hell realm. This really became hell. This really became a hellish realm for real. And that's what I'm on here telling y'all. Like, I've been telling you guys about spiritual warfare. Everybody knows about this shit now. Everybody's just out with it openly nowadays. If you just listen, if you just pay attention, I had to learn that motherfuckers that were obvious, I was looking for obvious dark people. That was y'all, I'm not even gonna talk about my train of thought too much because my soul is forked with my very old ancient soul, right? And also a bunch of different higher kind of galactical happenings which I'm not really going to get into because I'm still learning about myself, right? There's things that I know, but there's things I won't even discuss because I just think it's too personal, or I'm still expanding my knowledge about it or remembering, you know? So I'm saying all this to say, where was I? Where was I? Yeah, so yeah, y'all, like people know about this shit. I had to learn that it's the motherfuckers who don't talk enough, who don't share enough, who deflect when you're trying to learn something, people who are too secretive, people, I just had to learn how to be more patient and watch people and listen and take my time and stop just expecting for people to just give me their loyalty. And it's funny because when I wanted that from people, it wasn't that I wanted them to be a slave to me. I want them to be in a partnership with me, in an alliance, a team with me. They didn't even deserve it. So really it was a blessing in disguise because they wouldn't even know what that type of shit meant because they don't come from it. And that's just how it just is what it is. People always like I'll give an example. Like people talk about often in the people of color community how all the people of color work together even if they don't know each other. If there was two fucking Chinese people uh going through something, they would have each other back before they would be against each other because that's just how they are. If it's black people, like we I think we might be changing that a bit nowadays, but we're less likely to have each other's back because we've been taught to fear everything and everyone, like out of personal survival and self sustenance, sustaining oneself. But that's another trick, another part of the game in this whole pyramid scheme that robs us of our power. Phoenix Marvelous has a great talk about her basically breaking down the pyramid scheme and how this all began in the first place. And when she talked, I literally went straight into a regression. It's like I was there. I remembered exactly how the shit went down. And I don't even want to talk about it because I feel so connected to it that I almost feel like I was like sacrificed or had a hand in it. I don't know. I'm not even gonna talk about that. I'm gonna just say that like this whole thing is pretty fucking crazy. It's a fight for power and anybody can win. That's the craziest part about it. All these different tricks and games is fucked up. I personally view some religions as being part of the fucking game. Catholicism, I'm not even gonna get into it. I don't mean to offend anybody's religion, and not even holy. Just like mostly, that's what it became. And it's sad because you have to really dig deep and do a lot of research before you can uncover the depths of this shit. But it's like y'all gotta be careful out here. Get on y'all apex shit. And if you are a prey and you feel like you are prey and you are just that person who is a much more just kind of gentle, soft, pacifist kind of person, which is nothing wrong with that. Get you some, lean into God, lean into Mother Earth, lean into angelical spirits who have dedicated their life and their soul to helping other souls navigate their soul experience. You don't have, the beautiful thing about that, and this is where a lot of religion will lie to us, you don't have to fully commit yourself to religions or practices or anything like that to reach out to these angels. They've already committed themselves to this. They will want you to tell somebody the good word, share it. If you don't, it's not that they're gonna like stop helping you, but that at some point you're gonna start abusing something, and then it's gonna start tipping into the laws of karma and dipping into universal law, and that's all up to you to learn and figure out. I'm saying that to say I've really learned that these people out here, they will do it in the dumbest ways for the dumbest reasons. Somebody could be hurting them, somebody could be fucking them over in a relationship, and to get back at them or to try to gain the fucking confidence and dignity. Now all of a sudden it's a problem with my Wi-Fi. As soon as I start, well, not my Wi-Fi, but my internet connection starts fucking up. Right when I start getting into a fucking channel, that's another reason my energy field does not work well with my device all the time, and that's another thing that I struggle with navigating, and I can't stand it. But I'm gonna get back into the channel and just let it flow. I don't even care. I trust that it'll come out just the way it needs to. That's why I keep my eyes closed. I don't want to look at the time. I don't want to look at the phone. I don't want to look at shit. I just want to talk. Let me hop back into this channel real quick. But yeah, people be getting drained by their partner, by their friends, by their fucked up family and their job and their situation in an attempt to try to regain some type of control over their life because their life is not their fucking own and they feel powerless. They try to find somebody else who's just as sweet as they are or once were, or they're losing that about themselves. And they like, let me feed off this person. It becomes this endless cycle of people feeding off each other and feeding off each other. That's what they want in this pyramid scheme. That's what the zombies are. They trying to tell y'all the zombies are, yeah, the zombies gonna be a lot of things. Zombies are people on drugs, okay, homeless people, people who are mentally fucked up in homeless community, inside our homeless community, people who are just like lots of people with mental issues, lots of people on drugs, lots of people who are just displaced in all kinds of crazy ways, people with diseases, people with mental health problems, left out on the streets, forgotten about, motherfuckers who are literally emotionally starved, sexually starved, drained, getting straight up parasite sucked dry. It's a never ending fucking cycle. That's the scary part about it. That's why all of these poly relationships, all this shit can be very freeing. It can be very empowering if it's used correctly, if it's used with, you have to, the thing about it is people are so fucking like blind to the fact that you can live this whole holy righteous life. It just takes discipline. It takes skills and things that you have to master in order to be able to enjoy those kind of fruits. Why do you think monarchs and kings and gods could have all these big bathhouse sex parties and da 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 da? It's because they had discipline. They were clean. They ate like gods. They exercised and cleansed themselves and prayed and gave thanks and gave offerings and communed with one another. It was about love at some point. Now motherfuckers just fucking and spreading disease and spiritual fucking like disgusting like debris. Everybody's making soul ties everywhere, sharing demons, sharing germs, sharing all this shit, all of this stuck energy, all of this darkness, and y'all getting y'all stuck. That's what I'm passionate about. I could care less if somebody says, hey, I want to be a demon. I want to be dark. I want to be this. I want to be that. And they fully have done their research. They fully have submerged themselves in this life and they fully can handle it and they fully own it. I respect that even. I respect that. Especially if you live in it and you say it and you even if you are a trickster and you like to trick people or whatever, do what the fuck you do, right? But my thing is when it come down to it and somebody play a game better than you, don't you get the fucking crying. You an Apex, right? You a big guy, right? And I'm not trying to challenge anybody. I'm just saying, because I don't give a fuck. I just, I get passionate about the people who getting caught in the crossfire. Like myself, when I thought I was really in love with somebody who I thought was so similar to me. And it really turned out to be a person who was beyond my level of understanding of darkness and fucked up. And because of that, they saw me as prime motherfucking choice, prime rib. They saw that I was like a fucking, like on Harry Potter. It was like fucking Voldemort trying to fucking feast on the last fucking unicorn there is. It's like that. It's like that. That's what it's giving. A lot of people are going through that, and it's happening in the dumbest fucking ways, in the most subtle ways. Like Motherfuckers getting fucked over by their spouse or their partner because they cheating and they open and da-da-da, all this weird shit, right? So they find you and you on your shit. You trying to grow. You trying to take control of your life. You healing. You trying to make money in ways that's not depressing as fuck. You trying to be happy and do things with your life that you like. And they see that. They see that you on that shit. And they gonna try to take that from you on some shit. Y'all probably not even gonna like this shit either, even though this shit is gold. Y'all got y'all favorite readers, rappers, singers, entertainers, journalists, business owners, entrepreneurs, CEOs watching my shit, using my shit. But guess what? I'm a fucking star, baby. God already told me nobody's gonna have direct access to me unless I give it to them. That's what it's giving now. So it doesn't even matter at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna get praised and recognized for my gifts because God already told me so. It's already in effect. So I don't care about anybody who's not actively showing love and actively supporting. Those of you guys who've been showing up to the Dark series, y'all been, listening and showing love and interacting, and I appreciate it. I really could care less because I'm gonna do this when I feel like I just want to, and it's for a reason. Because I get to leave this behind for somebody who will. This is gonna be somewhere for someone. This is gonna be for something important. I just know it, because God told me already before I got the fuck on here for an hour and start talking. That's that apex in me. Apex knows how to heal themselves. Y'all finna get the fuck out of here right now. Fuck out of here with that weird shit. Man, I feel so good. Y'all hear me wheezing, y'all. I've been smoking so much. Ugh. But yeah, Apex knows how to heal themselves. Apex knows how to regain balance. Apex knows when they go too far and when they need to scale it back. Power is power. You can either be smart with power or dumb with power. I love the original show Charmed. I was late to it, which I'm super happy about because I got to watch it as an adult and really get to discern what I'm watching. And the show, I love it because it's so accurate to my actual real life. Like, it looks so dramatized and fake, and all the demons and all the action look all fake, but that's real life. If for all of us nowadays, for real, motherfuckers getting hit. But I was speaking specifically on the show to bring up when, like, the demons, like when the sisters would be about to vanquish these demons, the demons would admit, they would say like, oh, like, I can't go up against the charm ones. The charm ones are gonna win. They have all the power. They're so powerful. Then you have those dumbass lower level demons that's like, we don't care. We're gonna try to go up against them anyway to try and steal their powers and take over the underworld. Like, they always had these bigger plans to, like, take over in the underworld or whatever. Admirable, do what y'all do. I can't blame y'all for trying to move up the ranks or whatever. But it's just funny because they will go against these big powers and not care about getting wasted away to the wastelands because they're demons. They like going to the wastelands. But for you motherfuckers who know you don't want to spend your eternity in the fucking wastelands and be in physical jail and spiritual jail and all that shit, I'm suggest y'all rethink y'all path. And I don't give a fuck what path you choose. I'm just saying this is for whoever. Because I know I got a lot of haters watching me, a lot of people who hate me or who are envious of me. I got a lot of those people who show up and watch my shit. Sad talking to haters, and y'all watching me. So so who? I mean, who tuning in? Goddamn. I was gonna do this anyway, even if I was laying here talking to my motherfucking self. That's how I even hopped on here, because I was already chatting with myself, with my higher self, with my guys, with my team. And they said, you can go ahead and share that message because that's gonna mean something to someone. it's gonna really help in some sort of way. I believe that. I truly do. I'm grateful. When you have a certain amount of power, humbleness becomes natural to you. Some people are offended by the word humble. Ugh, humble, gross. Be small, be meek, be be less than. That's far from what humble is. Sometimes you can't let the way that we define words, because you got to realize we made these words up. We made up all these definitions, all these things. We made them up. What the word humble feels a certain way. I like to feel how things make me feel. I move off of unseen shit. That's why I've always moved the way I move throughout my whole life, because I move off of what's unseen. It's like either my intuition is seeing it or my eyes are seeing it. And it wasn't no real in between. Now I've integrated, thank God. But before, it was a little bit more difficult. But humble is knowing your strength, knowing your power, and choosing when and how to use it, because you know the ramifications, you know the consequences, you know the possible outcomes. And it's not that you're afraid of the consequences. Sometimes you just got to determine, do I want these fucking consequences or do I not? You're not weak for not wanting to fucking be in spiritual jail or physical jail. The fuck? You just like being fucking free. I used to always tell people, when I told the last person I dated my biggest fear was to be arrested. That's why they framed me to get arrested. They wanted me to literally, they wanted to break my soul, break my mind. That's what people want to do to people, but it's on a fucking like spectrum. People will do it as small as like leaving you on red and making you feel like you're less than. They know damn well you out of their league. They know damn well you fine. You hear guys talk about it and joke about it all the time. Go and watch these alpha male videos or all these dumbass videos trying to, dating coaches giving people toxic ass dumbass advice, telling niggas trying to talk to girls out of their league, be mean to them. Tell them they ugly. Tell them they hair's dirt. Just clown them. Make them like you. Reverse psychology. People are using literal mental techniques to fuck people over nowadays, and it's so fucked up. The real spiritual war is the war on the mind, y'all. So get hip, get hip quick and fast. For real, for real. This portal ain't no joke. I would hate to see people, you know, getting left behind if they can, and if they could catch the ship real quick. But that's all. That's all I got. This was a pleasure to get on here and talk my shit and put this energy out. I felt like I needed to breathe some fire, you know? For real. I'm humble because I know my power. I know myself. I know that I'm apex. I know that I'm seated beside God. God is moving and working through me. I cannot be defeated. I cannot die. The only thing that can literally defeat me is myself. And I've always said that, and I never really truly knew what that means to the deepest extent. Like, I knew what it meant, but there's levels to shit, right? So now I really know what that means. I've learned so much about myself, and I challenge any Virgo who sees this video to do the same, because that's what I believe that so many of us were meant to do in this life. People are studying you. You don't even know. People have studied me to either try to mirror me and be just like me, try to like perform my personality to like get over on other people or try to come up in life. If you can't beat them, join them kind of energy. More like can't beat them, become them. Like motherfuckers are shapeshifting. People think they can shapeshift better than me. I know how to shapeshift. I don't choose to use certain powers. unless I like I have to have a like a reason. Sometimes it comes naturally. And the only reason that I was repressed before and letting people get over on me is because I was afraid to use my powers. I thought that I was like I was doing something wrong. I felt like I had to hide the shit. I'm done hiding that shit. I'm tired of making me feel like, bro, they come get you. They gonna come do something to you. They gonna put you on the list. They gonna watch. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? I'm not afraid of death. I'm not afraid of being captive, held, bound, watched, monitored. I'm not. I'm gonna give you a show. I'm gonna show you what to watch. I'm gonna show you why you should be watching. I'm gonna give you what you came to see. And it is what it is. And it's not to show off. I don't give a fuck about that. People have seen me perform miracles. I could fuck around and be crowned as a fucking, what is it? Fucking Mother Teresa or some shit. Fuck Mother Teresa. She was a fucking terrible person. I could be that. People see me perform miracles. The same motherfuckers. It's so crazy. Cause I had this guy I used to be like homies with who he let somebody like lie to him and like ruin like our acquaintanceship because we weren't really friends. We were just acquaintances. But he went out on some Judas shit with me because, you know, and I'm no Jesus Christ, y'all. I ain't trying to be that man. He's already a person. I am me. I am me. I'm Zen Kumari. A whole different deity, a whole different entity. All right? Similar, but not the same. All right? Yeah, because I don't want to disrespect that man or his legacy, okay? That being or his legacy, okay? But because you know, I just feel it's disrespectful to compare people. I just don't think that that's necessary. Like comparing isn't all bad, but like don't position yourself next to me. You know, I'm me, you're you. You know, I don't know, whatever. I'm gonna get off that. I'm saying to say, people have seen me literally perform miracles. This same acquaintance or whatever. I'll tell y'all a little short story because it's interesting. Then I'm gonna end this. But you know, these are gems, y'all. People gonna be paying big money for these for this later in the form of listening to my recordings and buying my books and buying my writings and coming to hear me talk and all that shit. But these stories are very true. Like, so this acquaintance, this guy was a painter. He paints, so he was doing that as a little side hustle, and he had did this painting for a girl who was like apparently really rich and affluent. So he did the painting for her. I don't know if he was commissioned or if he did the shit for free. I think he told me he did it for free on some people pleasing shit, if I'm being honest, because he just felt like, oh, if she shouts me out, this person should be nice enough to give me a shout out, because that's what we think. Sometimes we a little meek, like, you know, help me out. We won't want to say that, but we hope somebody does, right? So I could tell that this person, I could tell from the way that he was telling me the story that like he did this nice thing for this person, but they didn't seem like that they were in a rush to like shout him out or anything like that. Or if they did, he wasn't getting a lot of recognition for it. Like it just wasn't a very good shout out. It wasn't what it was supposed to be. It's not what he had hoped it would be. He hoped that she would post the picture that he painted and hella people would start commissioning him for paintings or portraits or whatever. But that wasn't happening at all, and I could tell that it really like discouraged him. I'm the kind of person where I want people to feel encouraged. I'm the opposite of a demon. I want people to feel hope. I don't want to steal their hope away. Okay? Period. Okay? So I'm like, shit, let me perform a little miracle for dude. And it wasn't to show off. It was purely an act of love or whatever. So I was like, just watch your phone in like a few seconds, and I bet you it's about to all change. I kid you not. I went across the way. We were sitting in a courtyard, and I went across the way to mind my business. He comes running over to me a few seconds later, and he's like, "Oh my fucking god! Like, it's blowing the fuck up! Like all these people." And he knew it was a miracle. The way he looked at me, he was like low key a little afraid, but he was so grateful, and so like low key unappreciative as fuck. He just like ran off. He was mostly spooked, I think, but that's okay. I don't care about that. I don't care about his response. I didn't do it for accolades or anything like that. But I've done shit like that so much in my life, and I'm just kind of over. I'm over giving just for the hell of it anymore, just like willy nilly. I'm still gonna do it, but I'm not gonna just be doing it on this big ass scale, like getting up here on YouTube multiple times a fucking week to a crowd of between 20 and 100 people, okay, out of 12 fucking hundred subscribe to my energy. Um, and you know what I'm saying? Like straight up, just like just giving energy away. If it's not giving you specific messages, it's just giving you my energy. My energy is valuable without me even giving a service. That's what I've learned about myself. That's what God told me about myself. Even if I'm just showing up for people, giving them my attention, giving them my ear, my energy, my wisdom, my knowledge, my voice, my sight, my thoughts, that is so valuable. Everybody's all that shit is not valuable coming from everybody. It's valuable coming from me. It might be valuable coming from you. Do you know yourself? Do you know what you give off? Inspiration is what I give off. I'm inspirational, influential, I'm powerful, I'm beautiful, I'm bright. I have a fucking oceans and galaxies of love within me. And it touches people without me having to even say anything. That's so valuable. I can't keep giving that away for free. And that just is what it is. I have to survive on this planet. I have to survive. If people love me the way that they say that they do, they should want to see me survive and thrive and be happy. Y'all know what the fuck I went through. Y'all done seen my fucking videos. Go all the way back, all the way back. Y'all have, I recorded that shit on purpose. Hair not done, sick, living with other people, having no money, not even enough money to buy myself water. I knew what I was doing. I knew I would look back on those videos. I knew my soul knew what I was doing at that time. God wanted me to see who was in my corner at that time. Very, very little people, by the way. Very scant. One hand, I can count how many people were there. Genuinely there. Not because they felt obligated, not because somebody else made them feel obligated. I knew who was truly there because they straight up loved me. I could recognize who was giving to me because God had made them give to me. I know now. That is what all came together to create this apex being that I have become. And I give all thanks to the Most High God, to the holiest of spirits. Holy means separate. And when you are separate, it's because you are maintaining your cleanliness. Cleanliness just means being untouched by other things that are affecting your connection to yourself. I can get very dirty before I can get extremely dirty before I have to cleanse myself once again, which is I'm super grateful to have that much capacity because that means I have a lot of capacity to help. I can go where people are afraid to go to help, you know? But really, God is not separate. God is everything. But that's why God has to separate itself because it is everything. It's very it's one of those things that's confusing as hell, but then it's simple at the same time. But that's what God is. That's what love is. That's what everything is. Simple and complex at the same time. So don't let it get tripped up. Don't trip on your mind like Absol says. Just let it marinate on your spirit. Take your time with it. My spiritual journey literally started probably in probably in middle school, but it started officially for me in 2012. I talk about it all the time. I've talked about my story. I've been through fucked up shit. So what? I've overcome that shit. Nobody can take over me anymore because of what I've gone through or my demons. Like, no, it's not gonna happen. I love myself. I love on myself. I don't have no man. Ain't no man making me look this good. Ain't no man making me fucking this happy and this healed and this whole. I did this. I did this with God, with my angels, with my ancestors and my guides. I did this. Big ups to me. Big ups to my spiritual team and those in the physical who God have positioned to help me. When that whole thing in church when they say God make your enemies your footstool, that's such a weird way to put that, because really what, like, it's true, but also God will make anybody, like, these NPCs can all get controlled by something, whether that's God or the devil. That's what the NPCs are for, guys. NPCs are real. Young souls, empty souls, lost souls, NPCs. I'm off this thing. Get on y'all Apex shit. You're